welcome to the Crafty Diamond. I am Debbie. Today I am working on day 4 of my countdown to the holidays, diamond painting style. And if you have not seen any of this, I will put the playlist at the bottom of the description, and then also in the top right, the eye of the screen, and so you can go and look at those. This is turning out really, really cute, and I am loving all of the colors. Here was day 1, and then we have day 3 here, which I thought was really pretty. I'm loving all the colors, how they all match and come together. This one so far is my favorite, the one at the top right. That was day 2, I believe. Now I'm getting all the days confused, but today we are going to be working on day 4, which is over here. I'm going to have to flip this over to the side so that I can see it. And then I also want to have a straight line here. So I'm going to remove 16 for now. And then I am going to try to pull this up and see if I can get this a little bit straighter. And let's see. I'm not sure how straight I'm going to be able to get this. I'm actually going to move this one down a little bit so that that part's covered, and then I can move 23 down some too. So that way I have something to work with. And now I need to move 12 over a little bit. So that way it's in line with this one. Sorry, my hands are all in the way. Okay, that is much better. Not perfect, but it's better. Okay, so now I can move day 4. I'm going to flip this one over to the side so that I can see it. And then whenever I'm done, I will flip it back so we can see what it looks like. Kind of adjust the lighting a little bit. It is very dark and dreary here today, so I'm having to use overhead lights, which my overhead lights does tend to leave a glare, but unfortunately I can't do anything about it. We have absolutely had some really bad weather coming in. It's just been rainy and nasty, and now it is very foggy. It's very early in the morning. So how is everybody doing today? Nothing has really happened here. A few things. We've just been really busy trying to get things done and wrapped up for the year at work. And we are almost finished with finals, and then that's going to put me into a really good place for working on my classes for next year. And then once I get that done, I am pretty much done until January. I'll still have to work, respond to emails if there are anything. We have graduation coming up, so I'll have to go to that. And I have to participate. So I'm ready for that. Ready to see some of my students walk across the stage. It's always so exciting. It's almost like my own kids are on the stage, because in a way they are. I have worked with several of my students that are graduating for a couple of years now and gotten to know them. So that's been really nice. It's kind of bittersweet whenever they leave the flock. I don't think I could ever be a high school teacher. I wanted to for the longest time, either middle school or high school, and quickly decided that after I had substituted in middle school that I did not want to teach middle school. But then I thought I could be a business instructor in high school, and I could have done it, I think, but it sure is hard. And when students leave with the college, they can still keep up with you, if they want to. And most of them do. Well, not most, a lot of them do. They'll call me and, they'll, just stop by and say hi. And so that's really nice. And I do have quite a few my college students that are in high school. We have a program where students who are attending high school can also attend college, and they can earn credits while they are still in high school. And so I have them for a lot of times 2 years from high school, and then sometimes 2 years after. So that's really nice. But I will be glad when this semester is over. It's always fun to end a semester and then start another one. And I do have still a lot to do for my classes for January. I have not done as much as I should have by now, I don't think, but we've been really busy, and I will get it done, even if I have to work some in December. Once I get started on it, it shouldn't take me very long. It's kind of hard to do when you're still working in one semester and trying to start to prepare for the other. But then I'll have extra time to diamond paint, so that will be super nice. I can't tell if that one there. Otherwise, really, that's all that's going on. Paige is still loving her job. They have realized what all that she can do, and when the last time that she did work, they started her on prepping orders for to-go orders, and they just wanted to see what she could do, and she did an excellent job. So she did that, and then also they were super busy on another day, and she even helped take the orders to tables, which I was really surprised that she did that. But she was able to take the orders to the tables. But she loves doing like the DoorDash orders. So I think that they're going to have her do that. They may even let her work more hours now that they can see what she's doing. I don't want her working very much more than what she's doing now. I mean, she's working 6 hours a week, and I think that is a really good start for her. And then also, I've applied for a grant for her, and if she gets this grant, then she can only work so many days. Still haven't heard back from the VOTEC. I don't know what takes them forever, but I'm not even going to contact them anymore. She's got a little job. That's what we were hoping for. I'm not even going to deal with them because she loves her job, and I don't want her working anywhere else. I don't think she wants to work anywhere else. And everybody there just really likes her. So I just don't see any point in even dealing with the VOTEC. I think if they were to call me and say that they are ready for her to start, I probably would just say no. But, we'll see. I just want to make sure that she gets what she deserves to get. I talked to my sister yesterday, and she sent me a video, and I thought it was really cool. I didn't even ask her how she pulled this off. My sister can pull things off that nobody else can. I don't know how she does it, who she knew, how that this was possible, but my dad and stepmother love Young and the Restless, the soap opera, and they have been watching it for years and years. When my dad was working and he went into the office, or when he was farming and he had to stay many, many hours, sometimes all night in the field, my stepmother would record the Young and the Restless, and they would watch it together. So they always watched Young and the Restless together. That was their thing. And then whenever my dad started working from home because of the pandemic, and also with him getting older, and we really didn't want him driving on the highway anymore, and he would take his lunch his lunch break during Young and the Restless, and they would watch it. And then he would talk about it. And his favorite actor on there was Eric Braeden, who plays Victor Newman. And he just absolutely loved Victor. He has for years and years and years. And my sister, for my stepmother's birthday, she had Eric Braeden send my stepmother a video, and it was a video just to my stepmother. It had my stepmother's name. My sister told Eric Braeden, told Eric Braeden that my dad had passed away recently. My stepmother was really distraught. They had been married for over 40 years, and it was my stepmother's 82nd birthday, and that how much that they just loved watching Young and the Restless, and that's how my stepmother is continuing watching Young and the Restless every day, even without, my dad. And she says, it's sad, but it's really bittersweet and sentimental to her. And so Eric Braeden sent my stepmother, it was about a 1.5 minute message, video. You could see him, and he named my stepmother, he named my sister, named my dad, mentioned that he knew that there was recent passing, and that it is a time for her to grieve, but that she still needs to go on, and that my dad would have wanted that, and that's definitely true. So my sister sent me the link to this, and it was just the sweetest thing. I don't know if that's something that he normally does. And again, no clue how my sister pulled this one off, but I told her, I said, you win the all-around Lifetime Achievement Award, because my dad would have gotten a tickle out of that big time. He would have really loved that. And they're always doing those kind of things, for each other, but he would have really been shocked to have known that Eric Braeden was talking to my stepmother, and then on the loudspeaker, he was on set when he did it, and they were calling him on set, and you could hear it in the background. And so he said, I'm sorry, but I have to go because they're calling me on set. Wish you could be with me. And then he blew her a kiss. And so that was just so sweet, so comforting, and it really made my stepmother's day. She was, really sad because it was the first time that she had been, without my dad on her birthday. They weren't, they couldn't celebrate. And so she said that once she saw that video, she felt, my dad, his presence all around her. And so I just thought that was just the sweetest thing. And then that reminded me to go and look for something that I had on my computer that my dad sent me a few years back. And it was a birthday card where Michael Bolton was singing happy birthday to me. And then he, my name was in there. And then a couple of things were thrown in that was specific to me. I think it was American Greetings, because I did one back to him on one of his favorite bands that I happened to have found. And so I did that one, and I'm almost positive it was American Greetings. You fill out this little form that had blanks, and then they would use, that, and it would get filled in. So I had to listen to that one because it was for my dad. So I thought that was really cute. But on this one, this was definitely Eric Braeden speaking directly to my stepmother. It wasn't a card. It was, you could see him. He was, live doing it. And so I thought that was just absolutely incredibly special. So I wanted to send out hugs to my sister and just let her know how much that I appreciated that. I know that my dad would have appreciated it. So that was one thing that happened. last night. And then we had gotten an email from our small community where we live, and because the weather is so bad, they've decided to cancel the parade this year, the Christmas parade. And of course, on the email, they made it sound like, the parade was like the best thing. They were so sorry they had to cancel. It was going to be, devastating to people. And I was reading it to my husband, and we both just started busting out laughing. And even Paige, she heard it, and she's like, their parade is so sad. Who cares if they even have a parade? And which is absolutely true. When I was growing up, we had the best parades. I was from a small rural town in Arkansas, and we would have these, really nice floats. People would spend months working on floats, and it was like a big deal. You had judges where you'd stop by the judging booth with either with a float, you were marching or walking or whatever was going on, and even cars would get to go through the process, and it was really big to win. And our parade was really large. Most of the time I was always in it growing up, because I was either in the Girl Scouts, or we did something with church or an organization through school. It was always something. But when I was in, I guess it was Girl Scouts and church, my mom's best friend, her name was Miss Judy, and I was really close friends with her daughter, and I still talk to her, so it's really cool. But Miss Judy and my mom would work on the floats, decide on what they wanted the float to be, what the theme was, and how they wanted to decorate it, what they wanted us in Girl Scouts and Brownies to do. And then they would send some drawings over to a friend of ours that was an architect, and he would prepare the drawings. Then they would send it over to my stepfather and Miss Judy's husband, and they would help build the float. And then Miss Judy's husband had a truck, and he would pull the float. And we often won. Our floats were really nice. And then we would work on decorations and things for the floats, and for like 6 months, half the year. And then we would have costumes. We had parents that would make the costumes for us. We did that when we did dancing. And and then church too. We went to the same church, and so we really enjoyed it. We could not wait to start working on the next year's float. Well, when we first moved here, and they were having a parade, and we thought, well, we want to go and see what the parade's like. It was like a little 20 minute parade, and then we're like, okay, it's done. And each year, we've been in the same city now for 13 years, almost 14. And the parade each year gets less and less. There's not any floats. There's a couple of cars. They have convertibles, and people are just sitting in the back seat of the car and waving. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of a boring thing. And then they have one or two, we only have a couple of high schools in this area anyway. The high school that both my daughters used to go to, would have their marching band. And when Madison was in marching band, was a chaperone. And so we were always in the parade. I marched with them. And so that part was fun because I was doing something. So I didn't mind it then. Paige was also in the parade a couple of times when she was in United Sound, which teaches kids with special needs how to play an instrument. And so that was okay. But just to sit there and to freeze and to watch this parade that has mainly dogs, dog walkers and different things like that, I'm like, this is not a parade. This is pitiful. And so now the high school that my kids went to, they are going back and forth between this parade in this city and then an adjoining city, because a lot of the kids in the other city go to this school. So now there's only like one band. This year, I think the other band didn't even sign up because they're doing something else. So then, and you also have to pay for parking. So it's like, why even bother? So it was just kind of funny. But I just remember the days when, it's a parade. We didn't want to miss it. We were just devastated if the parade had to cancel or reschedule because of weather. But now here it's just funny. So do you have parades in your area, and are they worth anything? Maybe it's like this now everywhere, that people just don't do it like they used to. But I do miss that because that helps bring in more of the, Christmas cheer. And that's when I knew that the holidays had started, when our parade was scheduled. But it's just, I know things are different, but it's kind of sad. We do watch the Macy's Day Parade, and that gets us into the spirit, but it's not the same as if you were at an actual parade. Someday I would love to go and actually watch the Macy's Day Parade. We had talked about at one point staying in a hotel in New York that was on the parade line and that had a balcony. And so that way we could just sit on the balcony and watch the parade. But we've never done that. I think that would be really cool. And I think Paige would really like that, but I'm sure that you have to have your reservations for the hotel years in advance. And it's hard for us to make any kind of plans. We never know what's going on around here. But I think that would be super cool, is to actually be there live. Okay, I'm having a hard time seeing a couple of these without getting my head in the way. And I'm really trying not to do that. So that was kind of what we were thinking. We thought, well, we'll just go to the parade just to go, even though it was pitiful. And then you have to pay to park. It's like $5 to park. But we usually park over by a church, and so at least the church is getting the parking. And theirs is a donation. They suggest $5 since everybody else around there charges $5. But at least it's going to a good cause. I think they're going to be starting to mention on Facebook and Instagram, and I guess also even on YouTube, on the premieres for diamond painting content creators. And I am scheduled for 4 o'clock on the 26th of December, which is Boxing Day. We don't observe that here in the States, but I told her that I am good for any time. And I told her, any day, but I said the time I didn't want in the middle of the night, because we have it where it's called a premiere. And with a premiere, you're giving specific times. We go ahead and we record the videos early. And they're already uploaded, but we record as a premiere. So that way, when it comes out on our specific designated time, then we can be there, we'll be there live at that time, and we can respond. So it's kind of like a live, but it's a partial live because the content is already recorded. So I'm really looking forward to that. Usually it's only been 2 days. It's been Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, but they've had so many responses this year that she's able to fill another day. So that's really cool. So I'm working on that video. I am adding to it little by little things that I want to have in there. So I hope that you guys can join me on the 26th. So rather than me just having days 1 through 24 in December, I am going through the 26th. So I'm going to have a short Christmas video, and I'll already be done with this, but I'll just have a short Christmas video to wrap up. And then also the next day I will have my premiere. And this is the first year that I have done the premiere, so I'm really excited. I'm a little nervous about it, but I think that it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully I will get to one of these soon on the days where it's easier for me to see. I really should be using my WIP pad, but I don't always use a WIP pad. I think it would look better on camera. You would be able to see a little bit better. And especially on a day like today, I probably should have, because it is a little dark in here. And it's early morning. I prefer to record all of my videos when possible early morning rather than in the afternoon. It just seems to work better for me. Trying to see. Right now I'm looking for, like, to me it looks like a moon, half a moon, partial moon. I have been working on my cross stitch conversion from Diamond Art Studio UK, and I feel like, I don't want to say that I have mastered cross stitch conversion, because I certainly have not, but because of my massive cross stitch conversion project, I feel like that I'm getting there. I'm getting to where I am better at it, but I'm certainly no expert at it. But with the cross stitch conversion for Diamond Art Studio UK, that one is taking me longer. I was using markup, and it is working okay, but it's not working the greatest. I cannot get mine to load properly on Pattern Keeper. And I think using Pattern Keeper for this is more trouble than it's worth. And with markup, it was working okay, but I would try to mark up some of the symbols, and it just would not mark them off. I don't know why. And then it would mark others that were around that one as if I completed it and I didn't. So that was even more frustrating. So for day 3, I haven't done day 2 yet, day 4 yet, but for day 3, I decided I'm going to just try it again with the pattern. I did print the pattern off from their website because I made it larger. So that did help. It has made day 3 go faster. And I am just using a Sharpie, which that definitely helps. If you have not done a cross stitch pattern before, it may help you as well that I marked off using my black Sharpie. I did some really faint lines on my canvas, and that helped me to see the grid lines. So I made grid lines, 10 by 10s on my canvas, and then I also made grid lines on my pattern, and that makes it so much easier. It goes so much faster. And so I am just using the pattern and not even worrying about using markup or pattern keeper. And so day 3 went so much smoother. And I think it's a lot easier. So you may want to try that as well. If you've never done a cross stitch conversion and that's your first one, don't get discouraged if you are struggling a little bit and you think that you cannot do a cross stitch conversion because of this, because cross stitch conversions using a pattern such as something from Heaven and Earth Designs or Creatively Stitching, those are so much different than the experience that you are probably getting with the cross stitch conversion mystery. They are mentioning that they're going to do this again next year because it's been such a hit. And if anything, I would suggest that they make grid lines on their pattern as well as grid lines on their charts or their canvas. That's going to make it a lot easier. And I noticed on their website where they're having each day, the day after, they are allowing you to put up your progress. And I've noticed that several are saying the same thing, that it's just really complicated. It's taken them hours to do and they're becoming discouraged. And so I would just tell you, just keep working on it. It will get faster as you decide what works better for you. But don't rule out doing another cross stitch conversion pattern because you're discouraged doing this one. Because I am really looking forward to getting back to my massive cross stitch conversion. I was hoping I could spend some time on it in December, but honestly, I have just put it up until January because I've got too many projects going on right now between this one and then the cross stitch conversion. I'm also still working on my Sugar Plum Fairy, and I do want to get back desperately to White Christmas. But Sugar Plum Fairy comes first. And then if I have time, once I finish Sugar Plum Fairy, then I will work on White Christmas. But if not, then I will certainly work on White Christmas in January. That's already on my schedule to work on. Okay, so I'm going to now put us in a time lapse. I hope that you enjoy the Christmas music, and when I finish this, I will be back.
The wonders of life got the prettiest side for everyone to enjoy. Standing up close by the Christmas tree, glimmering light, I am right where I wanna be. I will be home for a couple of days, wander around with you. You and me in the cold, thought it'd never be true. Wherever I go, I got you. Oh, I have stopped running, there is no way trying. You better loosen your belt. Drinking hot wine by the fire, don't care of anything else. It's Christmas and some kind of love, my friend. I'll pray it will never end. Do you like to be here too? It's Christmas and outside snow's glistening. just you and me tonight. I'll spend all this Christmas with you. Oh, it's such a charm, got you up in my arm. There's nobody at the door. You said I wish this will never be over. Darling, it's time for your present. Come over here. Now it is time to get out in the snow, lighting a light with you.
I am back. Here is day 5. I did break down and use my light pad. Was having a hard time seeing some of these drill colors, some of the symbols, but I love how this turned out. I think it turned out really pretty. And tomorrow we're going to be moving back up here. That's going to be nice that I'm on an edge, so I'll be able to see a little bit better. But let's open my day 4 for my Advent. And this is what it looks like. So if you've not opened yours for day 4, you may want to go to the chapters and skip to the end. Open this. Oh, cool. It's a little cross stitch pattern. It's actual cross stitch. This says, a taste of cross stitch, try another craft this Christmas. Trying to get it to where you can see it a little bit better. And then on the back it has cross stitch pattern here. You can see it on the inside. And then it also has the cross stitch canvas here, along with some really pretty Christmas colors here on the DMC floss. So I have a friend that likes to cross stitch. I'm going to save that and give that to her because I don't want to start anything that's new. I don't think I can handle anything else, but that is really sweet and I will definitely pass that one along. I hope that you enjoyed today's video and it brought you a little joy during this Christmas holiday season. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That definitely helps get my videos out there. And if you're not a subscriber, I would love to have you. All you have to do is click on that subscribe button and it is free. And we would love to have you and our friends and family here. Until tomorrow, happy diamond painting. Bye.